It was almost like they did synchronized fuck Craig.
Casino trip, full of chips. Wanna flip, double it.
Welcome to the Full of Chips podcast, the only chips you'll never lose, where the stakes are high, the takes are bold, and the conversations are always full of chips. With your hosts, Chris, the Dice Degen, and Craig from Old Bay Craps. You're tuned in to Full of Chips, the podcast where we dive into our own experiences into the world of gambling and share stories straight from the casino floor. Whether you're a recreational gambler, a seasoned pro, or just curious what the buzz is all about, you're in the right place. Each week, we break down the games, talk to the experts, and bring you tips that could tilt the odds in your favor. So grab your lucky charm, stack your chips, and let's roll into today's episode.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 6 of the Full of Chips podcast with your host, Chris the Dice Degen, and Mr. Craig from Old Bay Craps. Craig, how we doing today?
Great episodes are born from great opportunity. And that's what we have here tonight, Chris. That's what we've earned here tonight. If critics judge us 10 times, they may give us 1-star reviews for 9. But not this episode. Not tonight. Tonight, we show them. Tonight, we take the mic from them. And we shut them down because we can. Tonight, we are the greatest podcast on social media. We were born to be podcasters, both of us. And we were meant to record here tonight. This is our time. Their time is done. It's over. I am sick and tired of hearing about 5-star reviews for podcasts that only create clickbait. Screw them. This is our time. Now go out there and take it.
Phenomenal. I mean, listen, standing ovation for that. Holy hell. Wow. Like, electrifying wow. All right, to preface this for everybody at home, Craig told me he had a surprise for me. I had no clue what it was. And that would not have been one of my guesses, and it far surpassed anything I would have guessed. So, bravo, sir. That was mwah, chef's kiss. That was fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Wow. For the listeners at home, congratulations. You just heard one of the greatest speeches ever given. I mean, I think we might just have to clip that out and just post that as a video altogether.
Well, you know, ever since we did episode 1, was it episode 1 or episode 2? Can you feel the pressure?
Episode 2.
Episode 2, we did the top 5 sports movies, and I've been practicing that speech ever since. I was like, I'm going to do this for Chris.
Kudos. That was like phenomenal. I mean, I didn't know where you were going with it. And then, you know what's really funny? This is how much of a nerd I am with Miracle. As soon as you took the glasses off, I knew exactly where it was going. Like, as soon as the glasses came off, I knew exactly where this was going. I was like, oh, I know what's coming here. Phenomenal. Wow. That was, wow.
Funny.
Like,
I need my glasses to see. So when I took the glasses off, I had to make the speech large enough that I could still see it without glasses.
There you go. That's end the pod, mic drop, finito. No, that was great. That was fantastic. Wow, thank you. I'm honored to have heard that first. And then, I mean, Mrs. OBC may have heard it because she gets editing rights on everything. But
sometimes.
No, that was great. That was great. Wow. So, I mean, I'm doing great now. Like, I can't tell you how great I'm doing right now. But how great are you doing, Craig?
I'm doing well. This is just trucking along. We just came off our first interview, which was fantastic. When you talk to Jeff, man, you talk to Jeff. Every small conversation we knew we couldn't have just 5 questions, because even if we had 5 questions, we knew it would grow to 10, 15 questions. And then we'd be here all night, 4 to 5 hours talking to Jeff, you know.
Yep. I'll be honest, I think it's pretty impressive that we kept that to like 2 hours and a two-parter. Like, I'll be honest with you, going into that, I was expecting maybe 3, 4 hours, like legitimately. So I don't know. I think we did pretty well keeping it short, concise. Good conversation with Jeff as always. And Jeff's super easy to talk to. I'm sure a lot of people who are listening have had the opportunity to speak to him. And like anybody who knows Jeff knows, it's just easy to talk to.
Oh, absolutely. And, I'm so psyched that we get to see everybody in the AC crew in the next few weeks, and the 10
Yep.
times tier multiplier in Atlantic City. And what's great is that we've talked about it. We talked with him about it. And I actually think we have a future episode probably coming up where we will be talking about meetups and being part of a craps crew and what that means and what that entails and how a session goes and what the hell is a coffee run. So I'm excited down the road to get to that episode. But right now, we are here to talk about etiquette and pet peeves at the casino. But first, Chris, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Well, as per usual, we have some water on standby just in case. But I'm drinking the Always Ready Hazy Pale Ale from the Cape May Brewing Company.
Excellent.
Fantastic little beverage here. Local brewery to me. When I do go down to the beach, down the
Nice.
shore, as we Philadelphians say. Because I go to Wildwood a lot, so Cape May is right next door. So yeah, good little brew from them. What are you drinking tonight?
I was started something earlier today and I only drank a little bit of it and I put it in the fridge and I was like, I think I'm going to have it during the show. So it is a butter pecan iced coffee from Dunkin', but with a twist because I've added Kahlua to it and I'm drinking it in my Craps for the Cure tumbler.
Very
And for
nice.
everybody out there, if you're not familiar, Craps for the Cure is this mid-September, coming up in about a month. Uh, if you'd love to be there, go to crapsforthecure.com, get your tickets. There's going to be some people there. There's going to be a lot of people online, a lot of people watching live. It's 2 full days over the weekend in mid-September, and it's for a great cause. And the cause is veteransmovingforward.org, where they train dogs for prior servicemen and servicewomen who have PTSD. And it is an amazing organization. And it's just I've talked to the person who runs the organization, and she is amazing. She has tons of stories, Chris. I know that you missed her last year because you were somewhere else, maybe not even in this country. And I'll let you talk
No.
about that if you want. If not, fine. But anyway, Craps for the Cure, mid-September. Get your tickets, crapsforthecure.com. I'm going to take a sip, though.
There you go. Yeah, all the information for Capture the Cure will be down in the description. This podcast will be out prior to Capture the Cure occurring. I was just calculating in my brain of the calendar and what the calendar looks like. So this episode will be out very early September. It should be like the first week of September, I believe, if not the last week of August. So it'll be out prior to Capture the Cure. But yes, if you are watching this and you have not heard of Capture the Cure, Craig so eloquently summarized it. It is truly a great time and a great um, cause that we are raising money for. I was there 2 years ago, and I did get to meet Lori, the spokesperson for Veterans Moving Forward. Unfortunately, last year I was not there. I was actually getting engaged in Paris at the time. And unfortunately, I will not be there this year either. Some personal things going on and some family things that are occurring around that time. So I will not be able to be there. I will be there in spirit. I'll be watching, and DJ's checkbook will be open for that weekend. But if you are interested, all the information is in links down below, and we'll also float out some content related to just Crash for the Cure in the next coming days here, so we can hype up the event a little bit, promote a little bit more, and really raise money for such a good cause, as Craig said, right? Raising money for veterans who need service animals. Personally, I can't think of a better cause to raise money for. Right, they fight for our freedom. They fight for us to be able to live the way we want to live. And when they come back, they're struggling with their daily lives. So to be able to raise money and provide service animals for these individuals is truly amazing. So big shout out to everyone who is involved in Cops for the Cure, as well as Veterans Moving Forward for the amazing work that they do. Again, all the Cops for the Cure information and Veterans Moving Forward information will be linked down below. So go check it out. But September 13th and 14th on the Casino Quest YouTube channel, that is where Crouch to the Cure will be live streamed for those 2 days. So make sure you go check it out. That will also be linked down below. And we hope we see you in the chat. Craig will be there in person. I will be there in chat. But I wish I could be there, and it hurts to not be there. But I know you guys are going to kill it. So fantastic.
We will miss you.
Yeah,
You were
I will
missed
miss
last
you
year.
all. Like, I know it. I'll tell you, like, coming home last year, it literally, I was watching it on the plane, and I was literally in like physical pain watching
Ugh,
that I like couldn't be there.
yeah.
And it's probably gonna be the same way this year. I'm miserable, but it is what it is. All I know is you guys are gonna kill it. You guys do a great job fundraising money, and hopefully the listeners and all that will be you know receptive, encouraging, and willing to donate to such a great cause. Because,
Excellent.
Craig, you do know, right? Making donations and charitable contributions just part of etiquette, right?
It is part of etiquette. There are so many things to etiquette, right? Um,
Oh, yes.
Casino etiquette, it's all about keeping calm, keeping a cool vibe, being smooth when you're rolling in Atlantic City or sipping cocktails in Vegas. When you're like that and you're keeping it calm and cool and collected, you want to follow it up with great etiquette and mannerisms.
Yes, sir. So, obviously, if you guys haven't figured this out, right, we're talking about etiquette today, talking about mannerisms, talking about some pet peeves that we have when we're in the casino or things like that. And then, we have some special things coming later on in the episode. Um, I'm excited for a little special segment that we have coming up later as well that has been very well received since we did it once so far. So stay tuned for that. But we're talking about etiquette, mannerisms, all that kind of stuff first. So, Craig, when we talk etiquette, right? I think a lot of people are just like, oh, you got to act right. Yeah, kind of. But for like to you, what goes into etiquette in the casino?
So, etiquette can be how you enter the casino. It could be when you get to a table game of the table you want to play, the game you want to play. We've already talked about know the game you're playing, right? That's a general do of etiquette. Know the game you're playing, know the rules, know the bets, you know, don't be an ass. That's one of the biggest things of etiquette is don't be an ass. But it also includes like buying in properly, tipping dealers while you're playing, tipping your cocktail person if they get you a drink, because most casinos, uh, drinks are free for the most part. I just found out at my local casino, they made me pay $9 for a White Russian, and they didn't get a tip. But that was just because that was a surprise. I thought I was getting the drink for free, and then I found out I had to give 2 red chips, and I wasn't happy. But respect your personal space, respect other people's space. You know, uh, Follow the rules. That's the biggest general dues I can think of.
Yep, I agree 100%. It's funny. We align on a lot of our top 5 lists, and we're aligning here, right? So like the way I broke down my etiquette is into a couple different categories, right? So like I have general casino etiquette as a whole, and then some table etiquette, things like that. But as in terms of general casino etiquette, right? You nailed it with knowing the rules of the game, right? I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that one. Respecting personal space, tips. Funny, you said you had to pay for a drink, right? So I've paid for a drink once in my life in a casino, and I was actually in Seattle when I was gambling with John and Ian and all them. I had to pay for a drink at whatever casino we went to, Tulalip or whatever it was. Sodas and stuff you get, but like I had to pay for my alcohol. I was like, what the heck? Um, it caught me off guard too. Like I was like, huh? I gotta pay for this? I didn't have to pay for drinks in Monte Carlo when I was there. What do you mean I gotta pay for drinks here? Whatever. But yeah, that's mainly that. And then the other thing that I have with etiquette that was a little bit different was also just like knowing the rules of the casino itself, right? So like knowing that you can't have your phone out at the table or be taking videos and pictures in a lot of casinos. When you're in, general common areas, sure, but like when you're at the table, you can't have your phone out normally. And if you do, make sure you're turning away. Just etiquette type things. And if you are going to take pictures and videos, like make sure you ask people if they're going to be in the picture or the video that they're okay with you taking said picture or said video. If you're videotaping like a game, typically you don't have others in there, but like just make sure, people understand that you are maybe taking a video because we don't want a Coldplay incident, right?
No, you know, and just to add on, dealers will tell you, you have to be 4 feet away from the craps table to use your phone. I notice a lot more people, even myself, we use our iPhone watches, um, to text or whatever because A, it's not as conspicuous. B, it's easy to turn around if you have to, but you don't have to step away from the table. One thing I don't like stepping away from my rack because your
Yep.
rack is like your bank, and you don't want to step 4 feet away from it just to have some railbird come by and steal your chips.
No railbirds. We don't like railbirds. The Full of Chips podcast fully is against no endorsement of railbirds.
You might have to
We
put
endorse
no
getting rid of
railbirds up at the
railbirds.
top.
Yeah, no railbirds, no railbirds. Yeah, but those are like just general casino etiquette things, right? And then, we'll get into some specific table game things because as you guys have already figured out probably, right? Craig and I are very big into craps and blackjack. And craps is probably one of the most etiquette heavy games there are. Obviously in blackjack there are also etiquette things that go into it, but I feel like out of all the casino games, craps probably has the most etiquette involved with the game. Would you agree with that?
I would agree with that, and let's get into it. Let's be specific to craps for right now. So, maybe we can just go back and forth, or how you want to do it. But, start us off. What's the number one etiquette at a craps table to you?
So number one etiquette is not buying in when the shooter has the dice or when the puck is on, right? And Craig's got his puck right there. Look at him, prepared and ready. Were you a
Right.
Boy Scout by any chance, or no?
No, but just let people know when you
Okay.
do buy in, that's when you buy in.
Yep. No, 100%. That's my number one thing is like I understand people don't want to miss out on rolls and other stuff, but like there's ways to not buy into the table when you're like when the roll is happening, right? And it just messes with game flow, right? We talked about that a couple episodes ago. I know you were hitting on that pretty heavy. And it's a major etiquette thing, right? You don't want to mess with the shooter, you don't want to mess with the flow of the game. So wait till the puck is off. If you are so eager to get into the game, right, go to the cage and buy chips. We've talked about this. You can get chips from the cage. Or you could make like if a very simple bet, right? So like let's say you're playing craps, you're gonna go 96 across. If you like get into the corner or something, into the hook, and like you drop the dealer 100 when it's like slow or something, and you just say 96 across, and keep the change, put the change on something else so it doesn't mess anything up, fine. But you could always, get chips elsewhere. You don't have to buy in mid-roll, and we strongly discourage buying in mid-roll.
Oh, strongly discouraged to the point that the whole table, we will all look at you. You're going to be spotlight center stage because you bought in during a roll like an ass, and there's no other word for it. But you bought in, you laid your money down, and what do? They roll if they just gave the dice to the player, the shooter, they then take the dice back to the center and allow the dealer to count out your hundreds. God forbid you come and you're trying to buy in with fives and tens, even 20s. I've seen it all, Chris. If you come in and you buy in for whatever you buy in for, the fact that you're laying down cash and interrupting the game, you're interrupting the game flow, like Chris said. And it is so fucking annoying to have somebody do that. And the thing is, many dealers will allow it. And and I think I talked about this a little bit that in one of the previous episodes, that I've seen a dealer say, please wait until the puck is turned off. And then they still took the money. Like, it is so annoying. That has got to be the number one etiquette thing of etiquette. And maybe we should have saved that for the pet peeve. I
Oh,
kind of
it's
think
gonna
that
hit
both of
both.
these subjects, etiquette and pet peeves, are going to get a little mingled tonight.
Oh yeah, they for sure will. They for sure will, because that's a number one etiquette and a number one pet peeve of mine as well. But Craig, what other pet peeve? Or sorry, I'm just jumping ahead. What other etiquette things are occurring at the craps table?
So one of the other etiquette things is, keep your rail in front of you. Don't crowd space. You're going to get talked to by the stick. It's happening more and more often now that the stick person is going to tell you not to crowd them, even though technically they should be able to fit 8 people on each side, 16 total, around a 12-foot craps table. But they don't usually do that. They usually only want 10 people playing, and there's always empty spaces in between. But because these guys are hovering over more than one rack, it gets annoying because you can't buy in. But also keep your rack clean. I'm not saying, you know, you don't have to keep it so precise where everything's in dividers and stuff. But don't have your chips where you go to get the dice because it's your turn to shoot and the chips fall into the table or they fall onto the floor because you just have a mountain of chips in your rack. Put them in order. You don't even have to put them in color order. I don't care. Just make sure your chips are within the rails that are given to you as a player.
Yep. That also helps too with like when you go to color up, right? Like make sure your chip stacks are the same color denominations, right? You don't have to keep them in the same color denominations when you have them, but like when you hand them to the dealers, whatever game you're playing, make sure you're close enough to, having everything together. There's nothing worse than watching a dealer have to sort your chips just so they can count them out. Like that goes into a pet peeve of mine too, but that's an etiquette thing, right? Like you got to make sure your chips are clean and you have them in good stacks that it's easy for the dealer to count out. Plus, it also helps you know what the hell's in front of you.
Don't take a lot of time to shoot the dice. If you know you're going to be shooting and you want to shoot and you're not a DI, somebody who's setting the dice, you're just picking them up and chucking them. Don't throw them against the wall to see what kind of result you get before you decide just to chuck them anyway. What's the point? All you're doing is you're wasting 30 seconds to a minute, which may not seem like long to you, but we're all waiting to get paid and see if we get paid on something that you roll. So why the hell are you taking the time to just bang them up against the inside wall until you see a number that makes you feel good enough to pick them up and chuck them?
No, that's a good point. And then going along with that too, right? Like with throwing the dice and craps and stuff, like you have to hit the back wall, right? So make sure you're hitting the back wall. Um, Try to keep the chips or the dice on the table. Sometimes it's hard, right? Like I know I throw them off the table plenty of times, not on purpose. It just happens to do that. With especially on a 14-footer or God forbid a 16-footer, like shit, I can barely reach. So, well, with a controlled toss, if I want to be all haphazard, I can reach fine. But make sure you try to keep them on. And then, also with that, right? Like you can only touch the dice with one hand. So whatever hand you're going to use that hand, and then you can't shuffle dice between hands. And don't bring them outside the rail. Keep them inside the table, inside the bowl. And if you're going to throw the dice, right, you got to keep them eye level of the stick or lower. You can't go over the stick's head. So just keep those things in mind because it's etiquette for the game, just the rules of the game in general. But it's good etiquette if you know those kind of things.
So I'll bring this up because we saw this in Atlantic City. I don't believe you were there that night, Chris. I think you got there the next day. Um, one of our AC Craps crew was tossing from the end, and this was one of the 14-foot tables at Harrah's. He was throwing from the end. There was another gentleman at the other end who had his hand over the rail. He was just leaning, talking to whoever, but he had his hand over the rail, and it distracted one of our guys at the other end of the table who, when he shoots, sometimes they bounce up, and he didn't want the dice to bounce the guy's hand and cause the dice to do whatever. He wanted to make sure it hit the back wall properly and just bounce off and die. Um, but it got into a big scuffle, and it's like, just be, again, your personal space. Respect the personal space of the people around you, and respect the space that is given to you as a player. If this is your space and this is your rack, keep your hands out of the tub. Keep your hands out of the tub. You don't want to be the cause of a 7 to roll because you had your hand in the tub. And that goes along with people making those last minute bets in the field, right, Chris?
Oh, hate last minute field rats, man. They get me. They get me. That's a pet peeve. It's also an etiquette thing. Also touching on your minding personal space. That also always touches me with hygiene. Like, if you're going to a casino, right? Wear deodorant for the love of God, please. Like, you smell. Stop. Like, please be clean or
Yes.
clean enough, or like, and please don't go take like a Hollister shower or like an Axe bomb shower or something. Like, that doesn't make you smell better. All right. Like, you're interrupting people and you're annoying people to table. Okay. Nothing's worse to me than like when you are six to a side and someone's trying to squeeze in, and like you can just smell them from a mile away and you're like, holy hell, I need to get off this table because I can't deal with the smell. And I have a very sensitive nose. I do. So like, and that gets me, and that'll mess me up to the point where I'm calling it up and I'm not playing anymore. It doesn't matter if I'm playing well, if I'm not playing well. Like, I'm not going to play well with a headache, so I might as well leave.
One other thing I'll say about like a general do for etiquette is, and not everybody can do this. Some people that come up to the table are new to the game, and we get that. And we're all more than happy to help new players just by us being next to them. Even the dealer's willing to help a person on a good day. We know some of the dealers in Atlantic City are not as kind.
Candy.
Know your bet
Sorry,
progressions.
it slipped out.
Know your bet progressions. When you know your bet progressions, you know where you want to go when something hits. It makes the game flow a lot better. If you're standing there and you're undecided on, well, do I want to collect it? Do I want to press it? How much do I want to press it? Oh, it's the 6-8. Here's $5. No, they're units of 6. You know that's part of that about knowing the game, but also just know your bet progressions. And if you're not sure, people that aren't sure should stay over in the corner or in the hook next to the dealer so that they can talk to the dealer and ask questions. Us players, our crew is really great at etiquette wise, just, somebody who's new to the table, helping them out, talking them through, but it's all calm. It's all on time, and we're not causing obstruction with the dealer, and we're not causing a delay in the game.
100%. 100%. The only real other etiquette thing that I have is it goes for craps, it goes for a couple other games too. And then I just have some general etiquette things as well. But like, know what you can touch, right? So like, people are gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? This is not the please touch museum. All right. Craps table, know what bets you can place yourself and know what bets you have to give money to the dealer for. Same thing with like blackjack, don't touch the cards, right? You're not allowed to touch the cards. Don't touch the cards. In craps, you can place certain bets yourself. Other bets you have to give to the dealer. Same thing goes with money, right? You can't hand money directly to a dealer. It always has to go onto the playing surface. So if it's craps, into the come area. Blackjack, you can really put it anywhere, but I always put it down like where I'm playing, wherever my seat is, wherever you put your chips. That's where I put money down. But like, know that the dealers cannot take money directly out of your hands. So you have to place the money down on the playing surface. But yeah, blackjack, never touch the cards. All right. You're going to get in a lot of trouble. Okay. It's not going to be good. Craps, again, same thing. Keep your hands out of the bowl. And the only bets you can place are the ones you can reach. If you can't reach the bet, you can't place it. Okay. And that doesn't mean every bet you can reach, you can place. But in general, right? Your line bets, your field bet, your come bet, your don't come bet. Those are the ones you can place. Everything else got to go to the dealers. Why? You can't reach them. And if you can, well, you should probably be playing basketball or something because you got long arms.
So, you talked about this a little bit earlier and just some common don'ts. You mentioned about don't use your phone at the table. They're going to ask you to move back or you're going to turn away if you're going to use your phone. But it's seen as a distraction, which is why. And it's also seen as a cheating tool. So you don't want to have the pit boss talking to you, telling you to put your phone away, or if they see it again, they're going to have to ask you just to leave the table. You don't want to leave the table, Um, one of the things that you talked about, just the rails and stuff, right? And this is a don't. Don't do this. Don't touch other players' chips. Don't touch other players' cards in blackjack. That is like a sin in Sin City. Don't do it. You're going to wind up getting punched. You're going to wind up causing an argument with another player. Just don't touch your own chips. Your chips are your chips. They're your chips. Don't touch anybody else's.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm talking to the camera. I'm like, okay, you got it, right?
It's like a stern lecture that you get,
Right, right.
Like, don't do it. It's like, it like reminds me, right? Like when you're young, right? Your mom or dad tells you, don't touch the stove because it's hot. Don't do it. Don't touch other people's shit.
Oh my God, there's a great
Bad
YouTube
idea.
video, and you can cut this out if you have to or edit it anyway, where a mother hands her daughter a hot pot off the stove, and she's got the oven mitts on the side, and she's trying to hand it to her daughter, and her daughter keeps going like this, and she's like, it's hot, and her daughter's like, she's like, it's hot, and her daughter keeps trying to grab her from underneath. She's like, it's motherfucking hot. Anyway, that's what made me think of that.
Love that. I love that. No, it's true though. Like I guess when you're younger, you want to do things you're not supposed to do, but like in the casino, those don'ts will get you booted. Like those kind of things, again, like Craig said, like you might not get into a fight with everybody, but like you have to be careful because some people will turn around and swing before they even say anything to you. So like it happens, right? And like again, you don't have to be, cognizant of everything, but like do keep in mind, especially the stuff we've talked about, like these are major things, right? There's some smaller etiquette pieces and some smaller pet peeves that we may not address that are, less common and stuff, but like these are the super common ones. And even with going along with the things not to do, like one of my things that is an etiquette thing. It's also a pet peeve, but it's an etiquette. Is like don't camp out in the casino. And what I mean by that is if you're not playing the game or you're not playing the slot machine, don't just sit there and take up a space that somebody else could be using. Right. So, like, for example, if you're at a craps table and you're not playing, you can still hang around the table. I'm not telling you not to hang around. If the table's not busy, I don't care. But if the table's busy and you see people waiting to get on the table, get the hell up, move away from the spot. You can still stand back from the table. Just let somebody else into the game. Same thing with like a blackjack table. If you're not playing, get up, right? I don't care if you're chit chatting with the dealer, chit chat from behind me, let me play, right?
Yeah.
Or like slot machines. I think it happens a lot at slot machines. It pisses me off. I don't play slots, but I have friends who do and stuff. And like, there will literally be people taking naps on slot machines and like just sitting there not playing. Like, what are you doing? I know it's a seat, right? But if somebody wants to play that slot machine or play that game, let them play. Don't just camp out there.
No, you're right. And, going back to one of the other common don'ts, like don't argue with the staff. Don't argue with the dealers. Don't argue with other players. Keep it cool. Even when luck's not on your side, we talked in previous episodes about, taking to the casino what you can afford to lose, not taking your paycheck. We've seen a lot of this happen at different casinos and different craps tables. I've not seen it at blackjack, but I've seen it at craps tables aplenty. Is people arguing with the dealers? It's one thing if you were mispaid, and if you were mispaid, don't take the money back to your rack. Leave the money where they stopped and put it in the come section. Don't touch it. Kindly tell them you weren't paid correctly. You should have been paid this based on the odds of, let's say, the odds of 7-6 on the box six. You were paid 26 and you were supposed to be paid 28 for a $24 bet. Just don't touch the chips yet. If you haven't touched them, that means you haven't agreed or approved taking them back into your rail. Don't be that person that takes it back to their rail and then wants to argue the point, because none of us saw it. We can't vouch for you, and you could be doing something illegal by stealing chips.
100%. And like, I think the important part there is like, don't be argumentative, right? There's a nice way to handle pretty much every situation, and you can approach it in a calm manner as opposed to getting like belligerent and aggressive and things like that. Like, just like Craig said, if somebody paid you wrong, just tell them, hey, can you check the payment on this? Or can you tell me what I have on that number? Right? That's how I usually do it. For me personally, it's if I see that the bet's paid incorrectly, again, like Craig said, I don't touch it, right? I know what I'm supposed to be getting paid. Doesn't matter what the bet is, I know what I'm supposed to be getting paid. So, like, let's say in Craig's example, right, I have a $24 six and I see $26 in front of me. I'll ask the dealer without touching the chips, say, can you tell me what I have on the six? And they'll be like, $24. Be like, all right, can you check the payout? And they'll usually see it and they'll be like, oh, most dealers are good enough. As soon as you ask what you have on the number, they immediately look at the payout. Why? Because they know that they may have paid you wrong. And especially if it's still sitting there, they're gonna look and be like, oh, shoot, sorry, let me fix that. Right? Nice way to handle it. There's no need to get, you paid me wrong, you paid me wrong. Everybody makes mistakes. Okay? It happens.
And remember, if they pay you wrong, there's there's tons of security cameras looking at you and looking at every table game, and it becomes actually a training opportunity for that dealer at a later time to let them know and maybe see the footage. Hey, look here, you keep paying this number wrong. Do you understand the odds of that box number? So it's a training opportunity for them. For you in the moment, just don't touch the chips yet. Tell them exactly what Chris just said. What do I have on that box number? Can you look at what you just paid me? I don't think it's the right amount.
Yep. And same thing goes too with overpayments, right? They don't happen often, but like, don't think you're pulling one over on the casino because they overpaid you a couple bucks. Believe me, the eye in the sky sees it. All right. And 9 times out of 10, they will send somebody down or they'll call down to the pit and be like, tell that player to give me back X amount of dollars because they overpaid you. There's nothing worse because it happens sometimes that, like, in Craig's example, right? A $28 payment, they pay you 30. And then all of a sudden, you didn't pay me 30, you paid me 28. It's like, no, dude, it's on camera, bro. Come on.
Before maybe we get into some tips that you could do etiquette wise, I think the last thing we need to talk about is don't overindulge in alcohol, please. We've seen too many people just get visibly intoxicated at the craps table or at the blackjack table. I've only played blackjack 3 months and I've already seen intoxication at the blackjack table. But it seems to always get belligerent at the craps table when it doesn't have to. Um,
Yep.
you know, Dealers are not responsible for the players at the table. You're responsible for yourself at the casino, and you'll kindly be escorted out. Maybe not as quick as other players would like, but just keep it calm, dude, and just watch what your intake is.
Yeah, and that goes into a lot of like social etiquette, right? So like don't be a belligerent drunk. Don't be a sore loser or a sore winner, right? They exist both ways. So like don't be one of those kind of people. One of my other things too is like don't give advice when somebody doesn't want advice. Like, you don't know how many times people will be like, "Oh, you should do this. Like, you should go, off yourself." Like, are you going to take my advice? Probably not. So, like, I'm not going to take your advice. So, like, unsolicited advice, don't give it out, right? If somebody's asking, like Craig said, right? If somebody's a new player and they're asking for advice or asking for help, no problem. Sure, give it. They're asking for it, so it's not unsolicited. But like, if I'm standing at a table and like you're asking me, and I don't have a problem you asking me what I'm doing, right? Because some people, there's some plays and some moves that I'll make on like a craps table. Somebody be like, whoa, 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 what was that? And I'll explain it to them, like, hey, this is what I did. But like, don't be telling me I should be doing X, I should be doing Y, I should be doing Z, because like I'm gonna show you what X, Y, and Z looks like after this session's over. All right, so like, miss me with all of that.
Oh yeah. And as a little bit of a recap of maybe some tips for etiquette before we move on to pet peeves, you know, we've already said wait for the right moment to buy in. If it's craps, wait till the puck is off. If it's blackjack, a lot of times they will not let you buy in mid shoe. Sometimes they'll even have a sign where they have the table minimums and it'll say you may not buy in during a mid shoe. It means you have to stand there and wait until the shoe is finished and they start shuffling again, and then you can sit down at the table. Um, there are some blackjack tables at the same places where they don't allow mid shoe buy-ins that they will allow a mid shoe buy-in, and it's probably the continuous shuffler, Chris, at the 6-5 table because they really don't care about you as a player.
Yeah, they
But
just want to shaft you a little bit more.
I guarantee you at a 3-2 uh, stop on soft 17, they will have a sign that says you may not buy in during mid shoe.
Yeah, and
Um,
going off that real quick, um, when the table's winning, don't buy in on a blackjack table. Like if there's table wins galore, don't buy in. Don't mess that up. Wait for a time where, it's not a full table win, or, like the dealer pulls something and like dealer pulls 21, or the dealer beats a bunch of players to the table. Like for the love of God, there's nothing worse to me playing blackjack than, table win, and then you see somebody tossing money down. No, DGen will say something to you. I will say something to you. Don't do it. No, no, no.
there you go.
Probably
And
slap
remember
your
to
hand.
use
There.
and when you're playing, remember to use hand signals. So, for those playing blackjack specifically, you know, this is common for your staying. You don't want to hit. Tapping the table is common for hitting, or going like that, tapping your whole hand on the table is common for hitting. If you want to split, go like this with your fingers. They know what that means. They know that means split, that you want to split your eights and your aces. If you want to double down, that's usually a one finger to the dealer. That means you want one more card, but you want to double down and you put your bet down, and they'll either they typically will flip it face up, but they'll turn the card sideways on your hand so that they know that it was the last card to be dealt to you. You can't hit any more beyond that. Um, you know, we've already talked about buying in properly, laying your cash down on the table. You can't give it to the dealer. You cannot hand it to them. The cameras are looking and they see you and they want to see the cash on the table with nobody touching it, probably for a few seconds, and then the dealer will then take their marker, make sure you're not giving them counterfeit cash, and then they'll exchange it for chips. Um, any others you can think of?
Yes, rewind to when we started talking about etiquette and just listen to it again. Make sure you
It's
didn't
almost
miss
like Fight
anything.
Club. First rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's true because like, there's so many things that go into etiquette. Again, this is just a small, like, major issue type thing that we're talking about. Like, when Craig and I were talking about this episode in general, like I said, we could do 3 episodes on etiquette alone, right? You could go etiquette by game, you could go etiquette, just casino etiquette in general. So we tried to just touch on few areas of each, and some of the bigger, more glaring ones, right? There's smaller etiquette things that most people don't even take notice to. I guarantee you a lot of people don't even know what they are. Maybe in a future episode, we'll dive into some of those kind of things. But these are like the major, major heavy hitters. And, unfortunately, but also fortunately, a lot of those etiquette things just roll right into our pet peeves. Like
Oh yeah.
breaking those etiquette things is just a pet peeve of ours.
I mean, we said that etiquette, buying in when the puck is off, but it's probably the number one pet peeve. Stop buying in when the puck is on, please. It's an interruption to game flow, and it sucks. It slows everything down. It literally does. I was actually shooting, I believe, on the 14-foot fire bet table at Harrah's. I was at stick right when not one, but two people bought in from either end of the table at the same time. It was almost like they did synchronized fuck you, Craig. And I was so pissed. And I even said to the dealer, I said, "Are you serious? You're going to allow them to buy in right now? I'm in the middle of my throw." And they didn't care. They didn't care.
Best line of this episode. Oh my god. I don't know what was better, the miracle speech to begin with or that. Holy hell.
I don't know. It might be a fight for the clip of the episode.
Oh no, that's clear. Actually, you know what? I gotta watch the cursing on YouTube in the first X amount of seconds of a video because they'll flag us for that. But maybe it'll be a quick clip in the
A
beginning
short,
of the
right?
actual episode. Yeah. No, but it's true. Like buying in mid roll and like when the puck is on is one of my biggest pet peeves. If I see you coming up to a table and you're about to do it, I will stop you. Right. And that's the one nice thing about, playing with a crew, right? Is that like one of us will catch it. So we'll tell you to stop. And like we will tell you to stop. I will turn around from my rack and stand in front of you and tell you, no, you cannot do that. And if you want to go around me, you're going to have to move me. And if you try to move me, you won't be buying into the craps table. I can tell you that. All right. And it's not saying because I'm going to get mad at you, because I will, but security's going to come and remove you before anything happens. Of course. Maybe.
I've not
I
grabbed
don't know. Depends.
the violent nature, but I have put my hand and I've said, "Wait a minute. This guy's shooting right now. Wait till
Mhm.
the puck is off." And it was a
Yeah.
new person. Luckily, it wasn't some guy who's like, "Fuck that guy," and I'm just gonna buy in. No, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know." I was like, he's like, "I'm new to this game." I'm like, "Yeah, you just stay there. When the puck is off, feel free to throw your cash down."
I actually had a guy who wanted to hit me because I stopped him. And I told him,
Only
I
in
said, go ahead,
Philly.
swing. I told him, I said, go ahead, swing. Like it was getting verbal to the point where dealers in the box, like it already messed up the whole role as it was. But at this point it was a principle thing. And it was one of my buddies at the table. It wasn't the Atlantic City crew. It was one of my buddies at my local. And the dealers literally told the guy, you cannot buy in. And I said, you cannot buy in right now. You have to wait. And that's the one nice thing about the dealers in my local. They will tell you, no, you cannot buy in. There's a handful of them that will let you. But if one of the ones on the table, the good ones, there's a few bad ones, but most of the good ones will say no. And they will literally stop it. They will say, no, no, no. Money back in front of you. When the puck is off, you can buy in. Right. But yeah, there was a guy who wanted to get physical. And I told him, I said, swing, go ahead, do it. See what happens. Do it. Do it. Do it. Give me an excuse. And this is coming from me. I'm such a non-violent person.
You're so gentle. You're a gentle giant.
Uh,
Really
I'm a
are.
gentle giant. I'm like a teddy bear. People who know me. I'm a teddy bear, literally. But piss me off. No, no. You know what's great though? I've trained fiance DJen to notice those kind of things too when I'm at the casino. So she will stop somebody too.
Wow.
And
Okay.
for the folks at home who have not met fiance DJen, that is unfortunate for you. She's wonderful, wonderful lady. Um, what
Part
like
of a
if she comes up to you,
it's part of the train the trainer program.
I like when she comes up to you, like I wouldn't want to mess with her. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't, and I know not to. But
I'm not
some
going to
people have
mess
to
with
learn the hard
fiance
way.
DJ. No thanks. So you talked
Scary.
so you talked a little earlier about, people that get overly excited as winners. But I want to throw this pet peeve in for my older brother who he plays blackjack, and he said he had a story that he was recently at Horseshoe down in downtown Baltimore, which is a Caesar property, Horseshoe Casino. And he was at the blackjack table, and it's those people that bang the damn table that they want a face card. Come on, give me that king ace. Come on. And he's banging the table and the chips are bouncing on the table. The dealers even say, calm down. You
Yeah.
know,
Yep. Yep. No, that's a bad one. That
I
one
think it's
that
a
one pisses
general
me off
rule of
too.
don't be an asshole.
Yeah. No. Exactly. Um, that one, it gets me at the blackjack table, especially like you were banging the table. Like, yeah, because you banging the tables, I'm gonna shuffle the cards up. Like, come on, dude, stop it. Like, and
You're
I
like,
know you're
how's
excited.
that too?
Yeah, because like you know what the funny part is too. I mean, I know you've been playing for like 3 months, but like the more you play, the more you'll see it, and you just referenced it. How's that too? Like the more times I see people bang the table, I think the lower the card gets. Like, I'm not sure if there's
The
a
louder
direct
the bang, the
correlation
lower
there.
the card value.
Legitimately, like, I don't know if there's a correlation. I might have to call up, like, the University of Pennsylvania or something to do a little study on this for me. But, like, the louder and the more obnoxious the person is, I think the worse the card gets.
I think you're right.
And, like, again, I have no statistical proof on this. It's just keen observation.
You have no scientific proof, but you've seen it enough that it's got to be true.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, exactly. Like you said, there's no scientific backing, but it's absolutely 100% true. So,
So I
yeah.
figured some of these pet peeves were going to be personal, right?
Oh,
And I
yeah.
have to say that we've seen this at Atlantic City a lot. In fact, we have names for some of these dealers. We do not like them. We like when they switch and they move out and we get the dealers that we do like. But it's these grumpy dealers. Like, I don't understand. If you don't want to be there, then quit your job, because I came to play in a nice environment. I'm happy. It's a nice coffee run. It's a morning session. Everybody's just getting there, first time of the day. And we're looking for some nice dealers, not somebody who's going to be grumpy, yelling at me because I took more than, zero point 0.5 seconds to put down my bet progression. Even though I know what my bet progression is, I just need time to actually get it out of my rack.
Yep.
So
Yeah, the grumpy dealers, like, you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, like, go back in bed and get up on the right side, please. And like you said, you don't like your job, quit your damn job. All right. And, like, I know the job market right now is not great, but, like, if this job is so miserable for you that you have to deflect your feelings onto those who are playing, you're making a terrible playing experience for, us players who aren't going to want to go back there, right? And two, like, it just ruins the vibe. And you know this, but folks at home may not know this. I mean, how many times have we left the table? And I'm not talking about just you or just me or just one person. The entire group, we've gone from a full table to an absolutely empty table because of dealers.
no, I mean, like, what are you so damn grumpy and angry about? And because it's really fucking annoying, and pardon my French, when I'm shooting, why are you talking?
Yeah. Same thing with
Everybody's
other
everybody
players
you see
talking.
everybody at the table quiet down, waiting for the roll to happen. And yet you got to start jibber jabbering about stupid shit you saw on daytime TV while I'm trying to shoot. Like,
Yep.
shut up.
They're talking like General Hospital when I'm rolling. Nah, I don't care, man. I really don't. And the same thing goes through for players though, right? Like, there's a lot of times I feel like where players don't recognize that. Especially when you're not playing with, like, our crew where we have most of the table taken over. But, like, other players are sitting there just yelling in my ear. I'm like, dude, he's right next to you. There's no need to yell. Like, I mean, the death can hear you. Stop. And same thing with like, one of my other pet peeves too is hand motions at the casino. And I'm not talking about, like, the hand motion to blackjack. I'm talking about, like, people's hands, especially at a craps table. Like, you're doing like some kind of sword show, like with nunchucks in your hands at the end of the table. Like, stop. Okay. Like, just keep your hands still. And, like, and especially when you're near me, like, don't touch me. Okay. Like, don't touch me.
Are you saying that when you're shooting from stick left 2 and you're looking down there and at the end of the table there's a guy going like this?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Ralph
Like,
Macchio over there. Like, stop it, bro.
I'm glad I don't play, I don't play poker, and I'm only saying this because I watch it a lot on TV, but I don't play it in the casino because I'm not very good at poker. But besides that point, I can't stand this.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't see a lot of people do it at the blackjack table as much, but I know that they do it. They play it the fuck out like it's an instrument at the
I
poker
do
table.
it. I'm guilty of it at the blackjack table. I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah. No, I'm
Well,
guilty
you
of it.
didn't do
But,
it when
like,
I played with you, but maybe you do it on your own.
well, when I do it though too, I don't shuffle them that loud.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty
No, these
quiet
people
when
are
I do it.
literally like they're trying to make noise.
Yeah. And, like, when I do it, it's usually like once or twice, and then I stop for a little bit. It's like whatever, and I'll stop. But, like, again with the etiquette thing, like, if I see somebody's getting frustrated by that, I will stop. It's not like I have to keep doing it. Um, And, like, yeah, I don't need to keep doing it, but that is one thing that I do occasionally. So maybe I'll have to watch myself,
This is
especially when I'm next to you.
Oh yeah. This is one of my pet peeves, and I'm at stick left one, which is close to the stick, right? Stick left one, right next to stick two, stick three, right? And they're like this. They hold the stick and they're going like this. Like what I have to throw this way. At best I'm gonna hit your shoulder. Like
Yeah.
get get out of the way, man.
Yep.
And they won't do it.
No, it's true. It's brutal. That and then one of my other big pet peeves kind of goes off the talking one is like somebody at the other end of the table or even at my end, like telling me what they want me to throw. Bro, shut up. I don't give a shit what you want. I really don't. If I cared what you want, I'd ask. I didn't ask. Okay. So like, don't tell me if my point's a six. Give me a hard six. I'll take any six. I'll take any number other than the seven, to be honest with you. I don't really give a shit what it is. But like, don't ask me. Well, 44. Shut up. Stop it. I don't want to hear it. And like, that's one of my, it gets me so heated when that kind of stuff happens because like, I'm going to look at the guy and I'm just going to give him a look. And like, if you don't get what I mean by that look and you keep doing it, I will verbally tell you to stop. And now, congratulations. You're not getting your 44. You're not getting your hard six. Lucky for you, you're going to get a damn 3-4, and my roll is going to be over because you pissed me off.
Oh, I can't wait till we get to casino stories in another episode. I have to hear again that one for the parks.
Oh, the reason I'm not
We'll tell
allowed
it.
it.
We'll
Well,
tell it
yeah,
at that time. But
the reason I'm
that's
not
a really good one.
welcomed in that location.
Uh,
Yeah.
so this next one for me is a personal one, and it's the reason that it probably leads into why I abhor slots. It's the fact that when you put your money in and then you get down and you get a partial ticket redemption for 37 cents. Like, just tell me that it's been donated to some charity. I'd rather it, if you have less than $1 left and you can't do a spin anymore, just donate it to charity. Like, don't give me a stupid coupon for 37 cents. Like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's funny. You mentioned slots because it happens a lot on slots. One of my pet peeves. It goes along with the slapping the table. The slot players are slapping the damn machine and like smacking the button. Smack, 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 smack. It's not a fly swatter. Stop it. All right, just push the button. Okay. The faster you push that button doesn't mean the faster you get paid. I mean, the faster you lose money. And also the people who are like rubbing shit when they're at the table, all right, or at the slot machine, you're like caressing the side of the slot machine, or you're like at the craps table or at the blackjack table, like rubbing something. Dude, stop. All right.
That's
Like
right.
that will turn me off so quickly. I'm looking at you like what institution do you just get let out of?
Remember, do not get intimate with the casino game.
Literally, literally. Like, go get a room and go rub your rabbit's foot or whatever the hell you got to rub. But like, keep that out of DGen sightline because I do not want to see anything like that.
I think there's a pet peeve, Chris, that may lead into our next segment, and it happens at craps tables often. It doesn't just happen at craps, but it happens at craps tables often, and a lot of times it happens in the field.
Oh, the field. What could you possibly mean?
I think we possibly might mean what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
It's time for what the fuck?
Warning.
The thoughts and comments in the next segment may trigger you. If you are triggered, seek help from someone who cares.
Hello, Martin. Meet Gail.
Mm.
It is the
Sounds
all
like a
pet
midday
peeves of all
TV
pet
show.
peeves of the Martingale.
Yeah. That's like a hierarchy pet peeve right there. That's high up there. And it's not because I care that you're playing it. Um, it's because I care that you brag that you won. You won your initial unit. Okay. So you start your martingale at a nickel. Meanwhile, you got 2K out on your last bet. Congratulations. You won a nickel net.
Good job. It's that illusion of safety. It's that bankroll burnout. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. When Martin meets Gale, it's a problem. It really is. Like it's like as I said, it's like a daytime TV soap opera over there. When you see people start with the Martin and the Galen, I mean, forget about it. And like you said, it happens a lot on the craps table. And you know why I think it happens a lot? Because everybody tells you you cannot possibly lose by playing a martingale. Why? Well, because you just keep increasing your bet and increasing your bet and increasing your bet. Eventually, you're going to win. Well, yeah, no shit. Eventually, you will win. However, most dumbasses fail to take into account they don't have enough money to support said martingale. And the casino is not stupid. There's these things called maxes on the table. You cannot bet over that amount. So your little genius martingale will reach a maximum point at a certain point. And oh, by the way, do you have the risk appetite to be risking hundreds, maybe thousands of dollars to win a single unit? Those things get up there quick.
You know, we mentioned it's the illusion of safety. I mean, you think you're safe because you're able to just double it and that it'll eventually hit. And then like you have those people who, I think you talked about it in another episode, they'll martingale and then they keep losing, they keep martingaling, they keep losing, and then they hit the 2 or 12 and they're right back to square one because they tripled their bet or they doubled their bet. And so then they start again. They're like, oh, great. I won $300 off my original $10 or whatever. Let's put the 100 back into the field. Lose. Oh, let's put 200. Lose. 400. Lose. 800. Lose. 1,600. 16. Think about it. You were only in it for like $10 when you started out because you were just doing it as part of your box bets. Now you're so ingrained in your martingale, you're at $1,600 trying to win back money you lost. And if you even win the $1,600, you're probably still in a loss overall because you're just dumb, stupid. It's a stupid way to play. Stop doing it. It's more of a pet peeve because as a seasoned craps player or even casino players as we are, it makes us cringe just to watch you fail. Right?
Why don't they hand me the
I
money?
mean, are there any
I'll do
better
something better with it.
alternatives?
Like, just hand the money to me, honestly. I'll do something better with it than you and your stupid martingale. And I hate the false premonition that a lot of social media people give that you can't possibly lose doing it. And like, oh, you're not going to lose 6 bets in a row. You're not going to lose 10 bets in a row. Spend some time at a game. All right, blackjack, craps, whatever it is. Especially your field bet example. All right, you know how many times I've seen 10, 12 non-field numbers in a row? In case anybody at home wants to know your math on that, if you started at a quarter in the field and you had 10 straight losers, you're up over $12,000 in your martingale. Just in case you're aware. By the way, most table maxes are going to be 5K. You would have been tapped out. Now you have to put another 5K out there, win, and then win another 5K again, or else you're just, yeah, who knows? And one of our favorites, the Cricket Man, is talking about how you can't lose 6 don't passes in a row. It's impossible to lose 6 don't passes in a row. It's funny. The day that video came out, I was doing a video here, and I was shooting. There was 8 straight pass line winners, 8
Oh,
straight,
really?
but it's impossible
8
to have
straight.
more than 6 in a row. I don't get
I
it.
remember one time on your video, you hit 8 points.
Mhm.
You hit 8 points, including it was on a crap list. You hit 8 points, including an 11. You even
Yeah.
hit that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens. So stop martingaling because you're only going to lose yourself. You're gonna go home a loser. You're going to become part of our lucky loser list that we said in the last episode or episode before that. Maybe maybe what they need. Chris, I think I know what they need. They need the official Full of Chips Disciplined Gamblers Toolkit.
Shameless plug.
I
I
think
love
so.
it. Shameless plug.
We'll have to get some made laminated, hand them out every time we go to a casino, especially in Vegas.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna like carry them in my pocket or something, or they're gonna be a little bit too big. I think I'm gonna have to get like a man purse, walk around my little satchel or something. But yeah, people
What the
stop
fuck?
martingaling. All right, like legitimately, you have this idea, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work. All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Don't think the martingale doesn't work. It works until it doesn't work, and when it doesn't work, that shit beats you so hard that like you may never walk again, type thing. All right. It's like, I mean, it'll give you a very false sense of confidence that you can just keep going, keep going, and keep going until you run into a nightmare scenario where now you don't have a house. So you're going to be calling up Martin or Gail and be, hey, can I sleep on your couch? What the fuck?
What the fuck? All right. We know where we're going now, where we go every episode. We are going into the top 5.
I'm excited. Top five, top five,
Chris,
top five.
what is this week's top 5?
This week's top 5 is not casino related necessarily. It is our top 5 bucket list items.
Oh.
I'm excited. I'm excited for top 5 bucket list items. All right, Craig, I'm going to go to you first. I'm going to say this, though. I struggle with this list because recently I've crossed quite a few things off my bucket list. So now I have to think of what is on my bucket list still. And we came up with 5. But, Craig, number 5 on your bucket list, what is it?
I do have to say you're a world traveler and I'm a state traveler. I've been around the state. I don't really go outside the state. I try to stay within my own state. I only go to Atlantic City or Vegas if I'm going out of state, and that's about as far as I go. So, but anyway, we talked about this one in a previous episode. My number 5 is Run Up the Rocky Steps in Philly. We talked about it during our sports movie top 5. And, next time we said that I'd be up at your place, that we would definitely go. We'll go and we'll run or jog lightly up the rocky steps, and then we'll get a couple of Philly cheesesteaks.
Yes, sir. We will do that. We will make that happen, and we'll record it so we can put it out for all the listeners of the Full of Chips podcast. I like that one.
Excellent.
Big fan of that. It's funny that you said I'm a world traveler because I'm just looking at my list, and 4 of the 5 aren't in the U.S. So there you go. You preluded to that. Number 5 is not in the United States of America. I want to go on a safari in Africa. I want to go like pet a lion or a giraffe or something. Run with the rhinos. I don't know.
There you go, Chris, out of Africa.
Literally. I gotta go see if they got dice in Africa. You think they have dice in Africa? I'm gonna have to go find out.
They do, but unfortunately, it's probably made out of elephants' tusks. So
it's probably not regulated.
They're probably illegal.
Probably. It's like some.
Don't bring them through customs. You're not going to make it.
Yeah. But yeah, number 5 for me is safari in Africa. Number 4, Craig.
All right, this one, and I know there's a place in Maryland called Oregon Ridge that does it every year. I'm trying to get my wife to do this with me because it is kind of romantical, and that is take a hot air balloon ride. I've always wanted to do it. I've always thought it was really cool just to see them. We do see them occasionally in Maryland, right outside my house. I'll look up, I'll see them going by. Pretty cool, and sometimes they get down close enough to where you can they can hear you, if you say hi.
Nice.
So
that's on the fiance list. Not on mine though. I don't know if you could ever get me into a hot air balloon. I don't know. We'll see. Number 4 for me is to golf on all 7 continents.
That is a feat in itself. How many continents have you golfed on?
3.
Okay, that's already big. You're already halfway there. Come on.
Well, and then when I go to safari in Africa, I'll cross a golf course off there. That'll be number 4. I just don't think there's golf in Antarctica. I'm fairly confident there's Antarctica.
I was just gonna say I don't know how many golf courses there are in Antarctica.
Yeah, so like it may be 6.
You may have to wear a thick parka.
Maybe 6. So I've crossed off half of them already. I've golfed
in
South America. I have golfed in North America, obviously, and I have golfed in Europe. So number 4 is golf on all the continents where it's physically able to be golfing on. But if I ever go to Antarctica, I'll probably bring a golf club and just swing and sag off.
There you go.
So
Just
number
use the same club for every hole.
number 3.
All right. So just like in the sports where my top three were all sentimental, these top three are all have to do with higher than an air balloon. So my number three is, well, this one's just spectating though. I want to watch a rocket launch live. I missed my chance seeing the space shuttle launch from Cape Canaveral. I dreamt of that as a kid, and I love space. I love space movies. I love anything having to do with NASA, and I would still like to see a rocket launch. Preferably, it's not a Tesla rocket, but it probably will be. I don't know, but I'd love to see a rocket launch live.
Remind me to talk to you about this after the episode, because what I will tell you I cannot say on this, but
Gotcha.
got some stuff to talk about there. All right, number 3.
What you got for your number three?
Number 3 is to attend the F1 race in Monaco. So I've been to
Oh,
Monaco. Fantastic trip, highly recommend. I've walked the course for the F1 race, but I want to attend the F1 race in Monaco when it's going on.
since it's a bucket list, do you want to drive in the F1?
That'd be sick, but I can't do that, so I wouldn't be allowed.
Even as a passenger in a
Like,
test loop.
yeah, like if so, it's funny. We've talked about it where like if we went to one of those things where I could like drive like test drive an F1 car, I would do it. So wherever I go that I could do that, I would certainly do that. But I don't know if I want to drive it around the streets of Monaco because the streets of Monaco are wild, and those are very expensive machines. So I will drive those on a closed course maybe, and I will just observe what's going on in Monaco. Number 2.
Excellent. All right, this one has to be because back in 2002, when I had my son, who I've talked about, he's a professional dancer in Vegas. At the time, because we had our child, my two brothers, older and younger, went to Vegas to skydive, and I couldn't go because I had just become a father. So this is my number two. I want to skydive, but skydive in Vegas. So if I happen to do it, I would love to do it with my son, but I understand if he's like, Dad, you're on your own. That's good enough.
There you go. If you do it, we're gonna have to record it for the Full of Chips podcast. I'll be on the ground or in the plane. Definitely not jumping out of said plane. I will not be doing that. But
There you go.
number 2 for me is to attend all Philadelphia sports, Super Bowl, World Series, NBA championship, Stanley Cup games. Now, this is gonna be very hard because I need teams to actually be good and do it. Now, unfortunately, I have not been to an Eagles Super Bowl game, and I could have been to 2 of them. But I didn't go to either one of them, unfortunately. I did watch them. But I have been to a World Series game for the Phillies. So that one's crossed off. The Eagles, I will get to a game. And the Sixers and the Flyers should probably call me for advice on how to manage their teams properly, so they can actually make those games. But yeah, attend the Big Four championship level events.
That'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
And to go
I know
along
that
with
you and I
that,
are excited.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say to attend the parades for those. So I've been to the Eagles Super Bowl parade. I've been there, and I've been to the Philadelphia Phillies World Series parade. So Sixers and Flyers for the parade, and then Eagles, Flyers, Sixers for games.
I was just going to say, it's getting around, it's football season, preseason already. And I know how excited you are with the Eagles, and I am with the Ravens. And I've also been at a parade for the Super Bowl in 2012 for the Ravens. So yeah, that that would just be incredible. I mean, I don't know if I'll ever see the Orioles again in the World Series. I was young enough to watch the '83 World Series. I did not watch sports really until the '80s, except for some boxing I told you all about. But I didn't see the Orioles lose to the Pirates in '79. But I did watch '83, which we beat a team you might know of. I don't know.
Don't remind me. I wasn't alive, but don't
Okay, I
remind
won't.
me. No, actually, I have to redeem myself on the Phillies because I went to the in 2022 when they were playing the Astros in the World Series. I was in attendance for the Phillies getting no hit.
Oh,
Yeah, it was terrible. It was awful.
that's
It
rough.
was terrible, but I was still there, so it was cool. All right, Craig, number one item on your bucket list.
All right. I mean, if you're gonna write it something for the bucket list, it's got to be fuck it or bucket, right? Um, I want to get my pilot's license
Let's
at some
go.
point.
That's sick. I love it.
I would love to get my pilot's license.
Any kind of idea what you want to fly?
I don't know, maybe a Cessna. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I mean, look, all of these other ones you can see, I got to run up the rocky steps to get the motivation
There you
to
go.
actually want to do hot air balloon. And then that's going to get me to a rocket launch to see, is it worth like that much fire? And then, skydive in case so I can practice leaving the plane, if I have to, and then getting the pilot's license, I feel it all goes hand in hand,
Full
and then
circle.
one leads to the other.
Full circle moment
That's why
there.
we go 5-1, Chris.
There you go. That's full circle. I love it. Wow. The thought and the attention to detail that went into that is remarkable. All right, number one was not hard for me. This is number one since I was very, very young. And this will be crossed off on my honeymoon.
Oh,
Number one
nice.
is now, let me preface this. I don't know if my full wish will be crossed off on the honeymoon. However, because I don't know if fiance DJ wants to come back widow DJ, but I want to
Probably not.
free dive the Great Barrier Reef with great white sharks. No cage, no cage, no cage. I want to free dive. Now, I have free dove with other sharks before, but I want to free dive with great whites. That's number one, bar none. Been number one since I was a kid. And
Wow.
yeah, my mom will kill me if she hears that I do this. But as I always tell her, it's always better to ask forgiveness than permission.
That's true. And I want to focus the camera on the Full of Chips podcast listeners that if something happens, I will keep the podcast going as a solo act, in DJ's memory.
There we go. We'll start off every episode with a tribute, the Jaws tribute, because I got eaten. But no, I think you'll
On a
be
very
safe.
special episode of Full of Chips.
Yeah, I think you'll be safe. I'll likely be in a cage on the honeymoon. Likely, we'll see. If I can wiggle out of said cage, maybe. But yeah, no, that's number one. But no, very, very good
That's
top
awesome.
five list. If anybody at home wants to drop
Again.
in your top five bucket list, drop it in the comments down below. If you align with any of our top fives, let us know. I feel like skydiving is gonna be a popular one. I think a lot of people are gonna want to be skydiving. You couldn't pay me enough money to do that, but
So you're saying you couldn't pay DJen enough money to jump out of a perfectly good airplane?
Nope. No. You see, I don't do things that I can't control. So, skydiving, sure, you're the first one. Somebody's got to jump with you. I don't trust that person enough with my life. The hot air balloon, I don't trust that fire enough with my life. If I'm going to skydive with sharks, that's my choice. I made that choice. I can live with it or die with it, either one. Sorry to turn this episode a little grim, but yeah, no, I don't know. Like skydiving, you couldn't pay me enough to do it. Bungee jumping, I can't do because of my back. But yeah, skydiving, like I don't know. You can't pay me enough to do it.
I have no desire to do bungee jumping because they usually do it over rocks. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, and like
if it's not over water, no thanks.
you ever see those like AI clips too, where like somebody jumps and then like alligator comes and
Yeah. The anxiousness is already there, Chris, because Crash for the Cure, I'm leaving on the 11th. That's right. I'm taking a plane on 9/11. So the anxiety has already started.
if it makes you feel any better, I'll be sitting in a courtroom on that day because I got summoned for jury duty on September
Oh,
11th.
Yeah, good luck with that.
So I'm gonna get out of there.
Remember, you hate everybody.
I hate everybody. I mean, they should know that from me by now. I don't like anybody. Anyway,
You're Philly.
Craig, this was a great episode of Etiquette, Pet Peeves, great top 5 list, great What the Fox segment. So I think we got to wrap it up with our tip of the episode. So what is our tip of today's episode?
Today's tip is respect the game. Respect the game that you're playing. Respect the people around you. Respect the dealers. Respect yourself. Don't be a degen, but be a degen.
Be a degen. Only if you're going to be like me, then you can be a degen. Otherwise, don't be a degen. But no, overall, great episode. Episode 6. We hope everybody enjoyed it. As per usual, if you are looking for where to find us, obviously YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Amazon. Then you can also find us with short form content on YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that kind of good stuff. You can find us on any of those platforms if you care to message us, reach out to us, whatever. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, comments, email, FullofChipsPodcast@gmail.com. Feel free to send us your complaints, your suggestions, your love that you have for us, whatever it is. But yeah, make sure you interact. Let us know. Comment down below. Send us an email. DM us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever. We're responsive, right? We're very responsive.
And remember, life is hard. Play hard. Full of chips.